I think the story of the deaths of the Balibo Five is such an extraordinary piece of our history. You know, here we have 5 young guys in their 20s executed by an invading army.
Rob did a really smart thing. He cast pretty new or pretty unknown guys.
I'm playing Brian Peters.
I'm playing Greg Shackleton.
And the gentleman in front of you?
Tony Stewart.
I am Malcolm Rennie.
I'm Gyton Grantley.
Playing
Gary Cunningham.
We actually have some small moments to shoot tomorrow. Just kind of introductory pieces about who these people are, which is, you know, interesting. We're doing that now because we're in the process of trying to work out who these people are.
That's my tie.
It was the most research that I've ever done for a job. Greg did read the news, as well as being a journalist.
He was just very driven and very ambitious and wanted to get that big story and was going to do it at all costs. But the more he was in the country, the more it became much more about the people.
Hey, come on, let's go.
He was just doing his job and desperate to share with the world what the atrocities that were going on.
Greg Shackleton from an unnamed village, which we will remember forever, in Portuguese Timor.
Part of our process was to get as close as we could to understanding these real people.
The Moody Blues. Nuts and white satin. This is what Gary was listening to at the time.
The 70s.
Moody Blues. Gary was quite a happy bloke to be around. Loved to drink, loved to laugh.
Tony Stewart was 21, you know, the sound recordist with Channel 7. So it's 21. You know, that's a very young age to be heading into a war zone.
Shackleton, Stewart, and Cunningham were referred to as the Three Musketeers.
Together, we are HSV7, Camera Department. I got to speak with a lot of great people who knew Gary back in the day and also knew cameras, which is what was very important for me to learn because Gary was the cameraman for HSV7. These are the batteries they had in the 1975. Something small, probably the power of not your lightweight info lithiums that they've got today.
Just that'd be great. We'll take that plus. Thank you very much.
This is the almighty Arri. Arri Flex. 16 mil. Let's shoot a movie.
We know they're in the background here.
No, right. Zoom in. Focus. Yeah. You went left.
Tony Stewart just left home and was sort of spreading his wings and really loved being in the Channel 7 sort of fraternity, really thrived on it.
Greg, Gary and Tony did all the dangerous assignments for Channel 7. And by that I mean bushfires.
Yeah.
If there was an accident at sea, they went off, etc., etc. And the editor said to me he did that because Greg never took chances. Greg was a very careful reporter.
I had Greg's diary from the time and he'd kept a journal of every day in Timor, and to suddenly read all these names and all these people he's talking about, to suddenly be there, to suddenly land in Dili, meeting the same people that he met with and drank with, and it just took on an incredible element, an enriching element.
You don't have to do much research when you literally go to the place and retrace their steps, literally, and go to Hotel Turismo and go to Balibo, and it's in the air.
Channel 7, Channel 9.
Malcolm Rennie was a cultured, young, professional journalist aspiring to greatness, like any young, ambitious man. Balibo, East Timor, was only his second assignment.
Malcolm, who was my cousin, he was approached it in a thoughtful, intelligent way, and he wanted to go. He really wanted to go, and he saw that as his job.
One thing I was told was he had one accent for, of course, journalism, and that very BBC, proper spoken in accent, and then he had his accent, which was very raw Australian, and I guess a hybrid of someone who's lived in 3 different countries.
I'm working on my accent as well because I'm not quite convinced that it's actually paying any bills right now. There's an enormous amount of information here that Robert's actually resourced over the last 5 years. He loved Ella Fitzgerald and the Moody Blues. He didn't like losing arguments. We've got a whole month just to really soak ourselves in these people and make some sense of this story which honours the memory of these people.
Welcome to Timor.
We were just a bunch of guys up there doing what we did every other week, you know, and suddenly, boom, 5 more dead.
60-man Fretlin garrison is here, and there are rumours that Indonesian soldiers are making their way up the road from Balibo.
These guys, as you saw, as you acted out yesterday, were basically, chasing car accidents in Melbourne and Sydney. They weren't war correspondents,
Rob Connolly got the families of the dead men together with each actor who was representing their son or brother, whoever. And there was this incredible bonding process that went on.
Do you want to know anything?
I would say that Shirley was probably the most valuable asset to the whole research process because she just personalised Greg for me.
All they were doing is their job. It was neither foolish nor brave.
To feel her fire and then carry it into the making of the film was just an incredible honour.
Greg Cunningham, Gary's older brother, invited us to his restaurant to have a meal. And I got to meet Anne, Gary's sister. But what was a big surprise was we got to meet John Milkins, who is Gary's son. Gary probably never knew that he had this son, and either did the Cunninghams, which was, I think, really a special gift for them.
I'm John Milkins, I'm Gary Cunningham's son. That's the kind of guy he was, I reckon. He's relaxed, he's pretty chilled.
In making Balibo, we wanted to include the families of the Balibo Five.
This is a huge day for us, to be able to see this happening and on numerous takes.
We wanted them to feel that they had access to the film and that the film wasn't being hidden or concealed from them. That included, for example, John Milkins and Anne Cunningham coming up to Darwin when we were filming and being extras in scenes and attending some significant sequences that we were filming.
So having seen it 15 times in a take sort of helps it become normal.
Because I was the only person who'd known them, they kept coming to me and saying, do I look like Gary or do I look like Malcolm? What am I doing wrong? And it was great, but as I say, a very eerie experience because they did come to resemble the people that they were representing.
How weird is this? I'm standing next to my dead brother, you know? Yeah. Is that bizarre? Is that bizarre?
There was a moment in Balibo in the morning before we filmed where they all went down into the ruins of the house that these 5 young guys were killed and lit a candle for them before filming the scene. And I realised that they had gone on a journey with these people that they were playing.
And I hope that this production lets the world know of what sacrifices and what lengths these guys went to tell the truth.
It's a Balibo Five shot.